Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. We start tonight in McCreary County, where Kentucky State Police are investigating a deadly ATV crash. Officials responded to the scene of a single ATV crash just after 12:30 Saturday morning on Jellicoe Creek Road. Troopers say Ivan R. Vanover of Whitley City was pronounced dead by the McCreary County Coroner's Office. He was just 19 years old. The investigation is ongoing. Police are investigating possible shots fired near Berea College this morning. Officials say they received a report of possible shots fired in the area of Kettering Hall shortly before 4 a.m. this morning. They say reports indicate that a person not affiliated with the college possibly fired a weapon outside of the hall. There are no reported injuries. Officials say it does not appear anyone was targeted. They say the suspect has been detained by law enforcement. Officials advise residents to shelter in place, but around 4:15 this morning they concluded that advisory. Power companies are urging communities to be cautious when approaching damaged power lines. Wind knocking down trees from high elevation has snapped some power lines and poles in the area. Big Sandy RECC President Bruce Davis says the power lines can still be active in some cases, which could lead to dangerous consequences.
Any down power lines, down power poles, anything like that, we always tell our members and we tell our public and the community to treat every down power line as if it's live, if it's hot, if it's energized.
Power companies are working across the region to get the lights back on, but representatives say it could be a few days before they complete the restoration. Pike County schools will be closed tomorrow and will instead be using an NTI day. School officials say they're using the non-traditional instruction since there are still so many without power in that county. Well, after another Saturday of heavy winds, thousands in the Commonwealth are without power. Alex Jackson followed power crews in Kentucky as they worked to get the lights back on.
The aftermath of a Saturday filled with powerful winds.
It's been crazy.
Big Sandy Rural Electric Cooperative serves about 12,000 customers across 8 counties in Kentucky. 3,200 of them left in the dark.
We've seen some 50 to 60 mile-an-hour gusts of wind that came through this area to fall on power lines, breaking poles, which is very time consuming, breaking lines down.
Crews working day and night trying to get power restored. Some faced with a mountain of challenges.
It's a lot of extra work, especially the hills are so steep and a lot of our line is in the hill.
Along Big Branch of Abbott Creek in Prestonsburg, a tree brought down, falling and breaking a power line, also causing a pole to lean. The company told us the terrain added extra hours to their repair time. This area is one of many impacted by heavy winds.
We've had 9 broke poles through this event. A lot of line down. We consider this a disaster. We consider this a huge event as far as outages go.
The company has to prepare for the worst every time a storm is projected.
We're always ready. We have a lot of members ask us, well, are you ready for the storm to come? We stay ready.
Thanking customers for giving the workers time to get the lights back on.
And we appreciate their patience, their prayers for our workforce. Like I said, it's all boots on the ground. We're working tirelessly and as hard as we possibly can to restore this power.
The company says they hope to have all power restored within 48 hours.
Big Sandy RECC tells us in 24 hours they went from over 3,200 outages to around 700, and that number keeps going down. Well, no deaths from the storm have been confirmed in Kentucky, but it was still bad enough to do damage across large parts of the state. A woman says she almost lost her life after a tree fell on her home in Louisville. Nadia Rahim says she was sitting on her couch watching TV at about midnight last night when the tree came crashing into her home and a branch landed on her leg. She managed to crawl out to some first responders to get help. Rahim says that while she was hurt and her home damaged, it could have been much worse.
I'm feeling too good in my leg. They said it was fractured, and they gave me some medicine and something to elevate my leg. But it's scary. It was scary. It was like a death call to me.
Rahim says the moments play over and over in her head.
Thankfully, the weather is much calmer across the mountains as we go into tonight, but we are tracking more rain chances into the new work week. Temperatures tonight, they are in the upper 40s and lower 50s, but we are going to warm up once again on Monday. Temperatures topping out in the upper 60s and lower 70s by Monday afternoon. Like I said on radar, all is quiet at this hour. As we take a wider look at the country, you can see some high pressure off to the east over portions of West Virginia, and that is keeping us dry tonight. But notice an area of low pressure and some severe weather over Texas, and Louisiana tonight, and that system is moving into our direction. Now, we're not looking at any severe weather on Monday, but we are looking at more spotty showers on Monday and Tuesday, and possibly a heavier weather system by midweek. All those details coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. As the final day of Kentucky's legislative session has come and gone, we look back and review of some bills that did not make it out of the House. Those bills are Senate Bill 270 regarding Juneteenth National Freedom Day and Senate Bill 63, better known as the Crown Act. Lucy Bryson has more.
Another legislative session has passed, and June 19th will not become a state holiday for government employees.
Senate Bill 270 would have recognized Juneteenth as a state holiday, meaning state workers would have that day off and state offices would be closed.
The bill was introduced to the Senate in February and got assigned to the Committee on State and Local Governments, but didn't make it past there. Another abandoned bill was Senate Bill 63, which is more commonly known as the Crown Act. The measure sought to protect people from various cultures from discrimination based on certain hairstyles.
The Crown Act is really just affirming that the hair that grows naturally from your head is the hair that grows naturally from your head, and you should be able to exist in public spaces with that hair without any discrimination.
But similarly to Senate Bill 270, this act was introduced in February, but also did not pass. Executive Director of the ACLU of Kentucky, Amber Duke, shared that she was disappointed in how the session ended, but expected this outcome.
So, it is disappointing to not see this bill move this session. It's also not surprising.
She says that although progress on these bills was not what she wanted, she does believe it's important to continue advocating for these rights.
We plan to go back to the General Assembly each and every year with our own priorities,
hoping that next session will have a better outcome for these bills if introduced again.
That was Lucy Bryson reporting. Although these bills did not pass, others did, a few of which were Senate Bill 47, which legalized medical marijuana, and House Bill 5, granting a tax break to the bourbon industry. After months of unusually high intakes, the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County has had to euthanize more animals in the last 3 months than they usually do in a year's time. Those with the animal shelter say this overpopulation issue can be attributed to a lack of spaying and neutering throughout the community and people giving pets away for free.
Right now we are spaying and neutering about 100 to 120 a month. However, that's not solving our problem. We need to do at least probably 200 a month. If those animals come in free to a good home, being put on Facebook, that only hurts the situation, because then you have more animals going out into the population that probably stands an 80% chance of not being spayed and neutered.
The shelter's board president Tammy Noble says through their low-cost spay and neuter program, the shelter can help pet owners curb the overpopulation of animals throughout the area. People just need to reach out to the shelter to utilize it. The Governor's School for Entrepreneurs and the Fraser History Museum hosted Kentucky's Pitch. 16 teams from colleges all across the Commonwealth pitched their ideas to a panel of judges. One of the students talked about why this is just about more than just the prize money.
Yeah, so it brings so much experience and a lot of skills to be able to meet with people that are here and established in Kentucky. And it also allows me to, hone in on the things that I'm passionate about and share that with others. And really also, learn more about business and ways that I can assist farmers down the road.
The winner gets $40,000. Kentucky has finally reached green at the COVID-19 community level. This week's map, all 120 counties in Kentucky are green. The risk levels are based on the number of new daily cases per 100,000 people. A community that has fewer than one daily new case per 100,000 is labeled as green. Can't remember the last time it looked like that. Last week, Fayette County reported 152 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death for the week of March 18th through 24th, compared to 115 cases the prior week. Coming up at 11, new details are emerging about how the former president will surrender to authorities in New York City this week.
Plus, rain chances and warmer temperatures look to return in the upcoming work week, tracking the very latest right after this.